Okay. Please check online. Let's do that. Online. Yeah, right. So whether you're online or YouTube, kindly write yes if you can see us. All right. Okay. So we don't usually waste time. I can see you online. Okay. Thank you so much. Adewale was through. All the others to be sure they can see us. Please,
We can hear you, Prof. Good evening.
Online, please. Already joined on this. Okay, great. We have many people joining. Thank you so much. All right, so it's 6 o'clock Nigerian time, GMT +1. Thank you so much, peace. Thank you so much, Baby. Utopia, thank you so much, Emmanuel. Thank you so much, Joel. Thank you so much, Kolawole Pijabi. Thank you so much, Muhindo Esther. Esther, that should be from Kenya, right? Is it Muhindo? Just be sure we are together. Uganda, oh, okay. How are you? All right, so you can hear us. Elijah, thanks so much. We are good to go. So I will actually, shall just share my screen now, and then we'll start. Dr. Judith is our facilitator for episode 2. I'll just give you a quick recap of what we did last week, and then on we go. So we are both here on YouTube Live, on Zoom, and also on YouTube. So either way, it works so well. I want to appreciate you for coming. Let me share my screen to be sure you can see my screen. Right, so share screen. That's me 4.0. Please confirm if you can see my screen. Please tell me, let me have meeting people on the channel, please. Okay, can we see my screen?
Yes, Prof.
What can we see? Show that. What are you?
I'm seeing gender distribution of the participants.
Okay, thou has well seen. Okay. Okay. All right. So I am making full screen so you can see clearly. Yes. All right. So basically, I will just take the welcome remark, and then we'll welcome the Judith. Okay, someone from Turkey. Yeah, thanks so much. And as we start now, you have question clarification. Do use the whether you're on Zoom or you're on the YouTube, the comment session, so that we can go together. All right, so basically, I remain your host of this African Scholars Mentorship Network. This happens to be the fourth in the series of ASMN for short, African Scholars Mentorship Network, hosted by DIaDeRC, Institutions and Development Research Center. So usually I like to say how to remain grateful to God for the privilege and opportunity to be your host. Like we say in this place, the African Scholars Mentorship Network, or ASMN, and that it's like a divine mandate because we are using our knowledge to transform lives. That's informed our motto as honing knowledge for transforming lives. And this episode 4 is very unique in many respects because it is the one that we are jointly hosting with our new partner, University of Regina Center, CSET. And those also were on ground available last week. We heard so much from the chair of the center, Dr. Folabi Taiwo, who gave us so many insights in that regard. Okay, so basically, it's a network. So it's not like it's a network because we are working together. So ours is to provide a platform and allow our African scholars and other scholars in diaspora to take advantage of the platform providers. So I'm just a coordinator, and that's why you see many persons coming to facilitate to show experience. So what we are doing in that through ASME is that we are pioneering what I call structured mentorship process and how that could be relevant for career progression and research productivity. So usually because we don't have enough time to do ourselves, we normally start by saying, quickly use the comments chat session to write your name, affiliation, and your main area of research in the chat box, whether you're on the YouTube or you're on Zoom. Quickly and kindly write your name. Yes, my name is Evans Zaboyan, DIaDeRC chair, and that's all, so that we know who and who on the call. And also, we also use that opportunity to network. So people can look at those who are in the area of research, and right here, we can start such a collaborative process. So thanks so much again for joining us. If you have enough strength, and you sure have enough strength, actually, so you use also the comment to write your major reason of joining the as 4.0. And as I just will do a recap, before we go to the detail for today, what we did last week. So normally said the mentorship is so useful in many respects. I'll give us example just now. And we have these 4 pillars we usually work with. So you help you to leverage on the sources of others. It helps us to gain speed in our endeavors, whether you are a researcher, whether you are a professional, whatever you're doing, there are people that are ahead of you. No matter where you are now, there are people ahead of you. So able to leverage on their success and then gain speed. And secondly, you also avoid their errors. We also share our experiences, the good ones and the one also pleasant. You learn from both of them, so you can avoid what they call OPE, other people's errors. You learn from their errors or experience. Okay, so I'll give us the second task is to help us to quickly use the chat box. Out of these four reasons for mentorship, which of them makes sense to you most, or which of them resonates with you more? It could be just 1, 2, 3, 4. Just write it on the chat box, and then we go on. Okay, thankfully you did already join us. Okay, so as example, I just gave an example last time, and I'll repeat that. By divine privilege, we now have a Nobel laureate, James Robinson, as our DIaDeRC admin chair. We didn't know him before after becoming Nobel laureate, but we've known him. And so in this case, we are leveraging on his goodwill, experience, and like somebody has said, I think about this thing, if I've seen far, it's because I'm standing on the shoulder of those who have gone ahead of me. Okay, please make Judith co-host. Make Judith co-host. Okay. So, and in this case, so we are leveraging on his sources and goodwill. And just today, we also communicated and he's been very busy. We have interviews in Germany, in Sweden, like that. But there are a lot of things we are planning our collaboration, which thankfully most of those who in DIaDeRC will be chief beneficiaries by the grace of God. Okay. Another thing I will say, it's good to, as you join this network, it's good to also outline what you want to achieve in the next 12 months, which is the short term, the next 3 years to 5 years, which is medium term, and the next 5 years upward, which is long term. It's good because you can always call a goal when you set a goal. All right. Now, for today, I won't talk too much. I'll hand over to our facilitator, Dr. Judith, who will be taking us through this proposal writing, practicality of grant winning and implementation. We took some part of that last week when Dr. Afolabi Taiwo gave us insight on the art of craftsmanship. So she will be on that. We're using her experience as DIaDeRC head of partnership and programs, who will soon show her profile very soon. I'll hand over to her. Okay. Right. So after that, today, next week, we'll go to 3 with Romanus. Episode 4, we'll have this young lady on scaling local action into global impacts through collaboration. And of course, last one, the grand finale is networking and experience sharing from one of my respected mentors, Professor A. Ataro, former VC of Commonwealth University, becoming all of the profiles are on our website. You just go to DIaDeRC, click events, you see all of that. So these are the main areas we cover that touches scholarship, whether in the academia or the industry. So it's good to take a look at that to have full information. Okay. Now, so before I go on this, I won't take a look at it much here. We just, in this 3.0, 4.0 is so unique because this is the highest so far to the responses of participants. We have about 315 persons compared to the previous one we had in 249 in episode 3. And so we also wanted another uniqueness is that we are having the growing number of female participants now becoming almost 45%, far above the UN 30% in terms of gender representation. So we are very grateful to God that the number of female participation in our network is increasing from 36.5 in episode 2 to 39.8 in episode 3 and now to 44 in episode 4. So we hope that as we grow, we have that number increase. Another thing again is to show that in terms of those who have participated before, we have many persons coming as a new, like say new convert or new entries, more than 85%, which is very helpful to us. Okay. Now, what again? This one is those who have application for grant or set over 80%. We want to be sure that after this training, the number will reduce because many people will be encouraged to apply and they have confidence. These are some other uniqueness in episode 4 that we are able to go about. Now, what again is surprising to us is the number of country of representation. This is the highest we have ever. We have over 24 countries from Burkina Faso, Cameroon, to Canada, to Czech Republic, to Ethiopia, to Finland, to Germany, to Ghana, to India, to Kenya, Morocco, Malaysia, Nigeria, Rwanda, Sierra Leone, South Africa, Sudan, Tanzania, the Gambia, Turkey, Uganda, USA, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. There's a wide representation for almost all the continents are represented, from Africa to Europe, to Asia, and then to North America. All right, to the Americas. Okay. Before I call on Judy, I think she's there. Let's confirm these team members. Have you made a pause? Okay, let's make a pause. Judith, okay. You are not the co-host, so you can get set to share your slide. Okay, who is tapping on my screen? For God's sake, please don't do that. You'll be charged for that. Okay, thank you so much. So this is the foundation for our mentorship network. So we encourage us to work with honesty and integrity at all levels. And the mentee remain the captain while the mentor the pilots. So let's look for frequent evaluation and reporting. So these are the three pillars we are working with as foundation for this mentorship exercise. Next one is that you can grow to any level. I won't take time to that. Please go to our YouTube last week. We spent time on it, from knowledge consumption to production to moderation to stimulation. And then that will take you to academic immortality or research immortality. All right. Then again, this is another reminder and a current call. This one will do boot camp is for free and online, and everybody goes there. But after this one, after now, we encourage as many as interested, all of us should be interested, to onboard into what we call the ASMN Premium membership, so that we can have further and continuous interaction with so much benefits. I think those of us who are already members of Premium Group can attest to that. So as soon as you get onboarded, we give you this what they call as me Premium badge. So like a ID card. And then after this second call, we run till end of November 30. So by November 30, we close it up, and then we do what we call onboarding. We have a training for all our SME premium members who subscribe in this second call. And then we'll profile them on our website to give them such global visibility. So these are things we help our members to engage. And of course, there should be room for writing of reference letters, mentorship support, regular training, clusters. There are so much benefits that we don't have time to go through it. So just go to our website. When you just click join the network, it will take you to the page. And then for there, you can access all of the benefits recorded, included there, including the video where I did about 5-minute video on to explain the benefits and rationale for ASME Premium membership. So that is that for now. And then if you do most of the training, like this training, if you want to get certificates, it's only those who are subscribed to Premium membership will qualify for it, apart from doing the exercises, which we will mention shortly. And then there's another urgent workshop that we're participating as a facilitator coming up November 18th to 20th. And it's jointly organized by Common University, my university, and IPA, Innovation and Poverty Action Labs, within an MOU that was already signed, which by God's grace, I was one of the facilitators of such MOU. So I'll be there. And the event is holding 18th to 19th November, and the deadline is almost here. About so the form will close by 8th of November. So this link, if you go to our website, just click event, you will see all it's part of the event there. You just click, and this is the link. And if you're also following us on our channels, YouTube, LinkedIn, sharing your share notes, the link there. So it will be posted to on the LinkedIn, LinkedIn channel. So register, fill the form and submit. It's a physical event to expect those that can come physically to come. You submit your concept notes, and if accepted, it's for free for the 3 days. But however, you take care of your accommodation and then feeding, but there will be lunch and breakfast during the event. So these are advantages, and if you want to also see, it's another good time to see one-on-one. So check it out and be part of it. Now, thanks a lot to those who have done us. After every episode, we give exercises. The one we did last week, this exercise was out on Monday, and thanks so much. But I want to check today. The 4 persons have done it, so thanks to them. And so after today, they give it tomorrow. It will be the exercise for episode 2 will be on again. So check it out. So don't compare it. So there will be 4 exercises for episode 1 to 3, episode 1 to 4. And it's required to get to qualify for certificates, apart from also joining the ASME membership premium, ASME premium membership. And then by the end of the training, by 24th of November, we issue certificates. And those that can do afterwards, we wait till end of November, they all just also be delivered. So on that note, last week we did this one. So I will call on my team member, I think Judith said, to introduce our wonderful guest for today. Ada, please, over to you. Help us welcome Dr. Judith Annie, a wonderful for today, please.
Thank you very much, Prof. We all are welcome. Our facilitator for today is Dr. Judith Annie. She heads program and partnership at DIaDeRC. She is a research associate at University of Johannesburg, South Africa, with research interest in health, gerontology, gender, migration, food security, and climate change. She has received awards and grants for funded projects. A recent one is the prestigious 2023 African German Network of Excellence in Science grant funded by BMZ, German Ministry of Economics and Cooperation. Economic Cooperation and Development, and AVH Alexander von Humboldt Foundation. Another is the 2024 Codesra Meaning Making Research Initiative MRI grant, where she as the principal investigator with 3 other DIaDeRC team members.
Okay, let's welcome Judith. Judith, let me stop sharing so the space is yours now. Over to you. So if you can clap your hands, please clap your hands, whether spiritually, digitally, or physically. Thank you so much. Judith.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and
It's very cold. So, welcome everyone to this program this evening. It's been wonderful, and I really like to always start my session by saying that I was once a product of ASMN. I think the very first episode that was
series
held about
1.0, yes.
1.0 2 years ago. And ever since then, you cannot see that I've grown, I've been mentored to become a facilitator today. So you are at the right place. And whatever exercise you're giving, whatever is being taught here, please, I enjoin you to pay attention to it. So I'm just going to share my screen straight away so that we can start, and I'll stop sharing my video to optimize the internet connection shortly. So let me just share my screen. Okay. So can you see my screen now? Can you see my screen? Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yeah, you're back now.
Yeah, we can hear you, Mom.
Okay.
Screen
Can you see my screen?
not yet showing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, great. If you can make it a full screen, that would be great. Otherwise, we are good to go. Yeah.
Is it okay now?
Slideshow. Not yet on slideshow. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay, but you can start. We don't. But if you can make it slideshow, that would be great.
Okay, so what I'm
Yes.
just gonna zoom it, increase it, and then put it on. Is it okay now?
Okay. But it's okay. But slideshow. Go ahead. Just go. You can see it. So.
Okay. All right. So I've been asked to speak on proposal writing, practicality of grant winning, and implementation. And I'm just going to give a very brief introduction, talk on concept node development, proposal writing, practicality of grant winning, common mistakes to avoid, and conclusion. So I would really like to prompt us to maybe after this session, it would be
Okay,
nice if
Judith, so please, can you make it
yeah,
on
can you
slideshow? It's not on slideshow.
okay, let me see.
Slideshow.
Let me check from here.
Yeah, the down there's a something like close to there by the
Animation.
yeah by the base close to the zoom where you have the percentages. It's now it's 80%. So you scroll down to that cup. You see it there. Why if
Let me
it's not
just see.
yeah. No, no, don't zoom it. Just keep going. No, not that. Go to that code. The next one, the next icon. The next icon.
This one?
Yes, great. That one. Click on
Yeah,
that.
that was what I used. That was what I actually used before now, but let me use it again.
Use again. Click it again.
Is it okay now?
It's still like it didn't change.
So I don't know. It's on slideshow from my own end now.
Okay. Well, it's not a slideshow because it's not showing where some part of your outline is cutting out.
I think she's actually sharing the screen, but not the extent, the PowerPoint. So maybe you should just present it like that. Going forward, you
Okay,
can
go
just
ahead.
press Windows and P. Windows and P, so that you should just it will be a dual sharing.
Okay, okay. Okay. Is any otherwise can I
Dr.
share for
Judy,
you?
you can stop sharing and share.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay. I think it's sometimes it could be okay. I think with that we can manage. Otherwise, I'll share for you. Otherwise, yeah.
I think maybe you should do from your own end. You should
Okay,
do
okay,
do that.
okay.
Maybe if you can do from your
Okay.
own end.
Stop sharing. Let's see. Stop sharing first. Let me see that I can share from you. Stop sharing. Okay, great. Let me see Dr. Judy's slide. 1 minute. Okay, let me share for you and see. Okay. Can you see my screen? Yeah. Judy, can you see my screen? Hello, Judy? Hello, ma. Is she muted? You are muted.
I
Okay,
can
yes.
see. I can see.
So you just command me, I will obey.
Okay, no problem.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
No, it's fine. So on the I was saying that for people who just joined for the first time today, it would be very necessary for you to search for the previous episode to also see what was done, because there are certain things we discussed extensively that we may not be discussing here, but it could be very relevant. So generally, when you talk about grant proposal, one of the primary purpose is to secure funding for your research project. We all know that research is very expensive. It's not something that, especially when you really want to go, when you want to do an action research, especially that maybe you also want to bring some intervention. It's a very expensive endeavor that your out of pocket expenses may not cater for it, so you need a grant. Beside, it is always a win-win. And just like Prof will always say, the fact that you're writing for a grant doesn't mean you're begging for money, because you have what the funders are looking for, and the funders have what you are looking for. So it's a perfect win-win. So you want to secure funding for your research project, and you also need a proposal because you want to talk about your research questions and discuss your methodology. You also want to talk about the importance or the significance of your research to policy and practice community. And this is very important because the end goal of every research is to make an impact. And then you also want to demonstrate that you're capable of handling a project of such magnitude. And then this was an extract from the previous episode we had. We talked about that all grant proposal, as a way of introduction anyway, should answer what, how, and why. And you must always think outside the box. Like I always say, thinking precedes writing. Before you put pen to paper, you must think critically. It's just like the 80-20 rule. You think, you plan, and then you execute. And I always ask, do you really want to win a grant? Do we have any response? Do you want to win a grant? I want to see a response. Do you want to win a grant?
Yes, ma.
So why do you want to win a grant? No, Prof, you're already grant maker himself.
No, I want
I'm
to
not
win
sure
more
for
because okay.
I'm not sure for on these more grants. So can
Okay.
I say, why do you want to win a
Yes,
grant?
what I
Yes,
want to win.
there are many years on the chat, many years from Mohammed, from Olopade, from Deborah, from yeah. Yes.
Okay, all right. So I'm happy that I'm talking to people who have interest in winning grant, and it is doable. It can be done. So the first thing I want to talk about is concept notes. Concept note most times is something that a lot of people underrate or overlook, but concept note is very important. Concept note is just a very brief document, just like 2, 3, 4 pages, depending on font specification, on the core idea of what you want to work on. Sometimes donors do not want you to waste your time writing a full research grant proposal, and at the end of the day to not be funded. And I think I like that way. Typical example of people who adopt this process is the JPAL. JPAL will always want you to send a letter of intent, a kind of a concept note of what you want to work on. If it is something they like, if it is a topic that is of interest and that aligns with what they want, they will invite you to submit a full research proposal. So in crafting your concept notes, and I call it a compelling concept note, it just have to be compelling. It should be able to attract a yes. Although the fact that you don't get funded at any point in time doesn't mean that your proposal is not good, but at least it should be a compelling. Just like I always say, thinking precedes writing. Why do you want to write? Look, at the heart of every research is impact making. It could be in form of adding knowledge, it could be in form of an action, it could be in form of advocacy, it could be in form of driving a policy change, and so on. Whatever you want to work on, there should be impact making attached to it. Good enough. Some funders will always ask you what is unique about your project. It is just most of the time it's just an item of its own. In other words, you're talking about how innovative your research is and the impact it's going to make. And if you really don't sit down to think, if you really don't sit down to study, to read, to see what has been done in that field, you won't be able to capture this. So you must understand the mind of your funder. How does your funder think? How do they think? What are their goals? What are their mission? It is wrong for you to just see a call and you begin to, write. The first thing you need to do is check the people who made that call. Go to their websites. What are their mission? What are their vision? What is it that drives them? You need to see how you can tweak whatever you are writing to suit to their mission. And the thing is that these days, as far as much as they try to read it, but I know that at the preliminary stage they use what we call I think the ATS to scan, just the way they do on CVs. When you submit your CV, they will pass it through an app to see if you have, the skills they need. Sometimes it can also be like this in grant proposal. So it will be a wise thing for you to, let the algorithm, especially when they are using applications or computer assisted stuff to, read through this at the preliminary stage. So you must understand how your funder think. You must know the mind, just the way we say know the mind and heart of God. You must know the heart of your funder, understand their mission and vision, their goals. It is very important. And the thing again is that how would you write in such a way to convince your funder at this preliminary concept stage that you understand the task ahead? Now, are they asking of climate change, for instance, and you're writing on something else? You see that, or maybe you're writing on adolescent sexuality, it is a mismatch. No matter how impeccable your proposal or your concept note is, if it doesn't align with what they are looking for, of course, you and I already know the answer. Now, you must be able to situate the problem. Remember that at concept stage, you are limited. It could be like 3 or 4 pages. So you must come up with your writing prowess at this stage. You must write with brevity. You must be very concise in your writing. Your writing must be very compelling. It is important that you situate the problem, whatever problem you are working on, within the context of any past research to establish a gap. And you must at the same time highlight the topicality of your topic and how relevant it is. And don't forget to provide statistics. Your objective must be very smart. Prof has previously talked about smart objective. Your methodology must be scientifically sound and must be rigorous. You must write your expected outcome and who are your beneficiaries, right? And then I've talked about innovation and uniqueness of the study, and then your budget estimate. Sometimes they could ask you to, give us a rough estimate. Sometimes they leave it open. Sometimes they give you a template. These are very important. And if your concept note is very successful at this stage, I can assure you that they're going to invite you to submit a full proposal. So let's get to the next slide on proposal writing. Now, in proposal writing, there are three major things I want to talk on. I want to talk about pre-proposal planning. It is very important. The main research proposal itself, and budgeting and budget justification. Now, in pre-proposal planning, before you write, before you start drafting your proposal, even when your concept note has been accepted, yeah, sometimes you might not be required to submit a concept note like the ones I see most of the time. It's just something you just submit your research proposal straight up. Now, in pre-proposal planning, it is important for you to check the grant requirements. In other words, what are the eligibility? What are the qualifications? Do you have the required qualification? Some funders may say that, oh, this study is meant for people from so and so kind of institution or so and so kind of location. Your research team, they might give you the caliber of team composition they need, institutional affiliation, the location, just like I've said. Now, there's also what we call the priority match. The topic you want to work on, no matter how passionate you are about that topic, is it a priority match for your funder? Let's think about this. These people are putting in money, a lot of money, thousands of dollars in projects. They wouldn't want to fund something that is not a priority for themselves. And I will also tell people that look at the burning issue. What are the burning issue in your country? What are the burning issue in the region? In Nigeria, globally, climate change is a burning issue. Insecurity is a burning issue. Reproductive health rights is a burning issue. especially now that we are talking about rights. Human rights, again, is also a burning issue globally. Now you come to your country, what are those issues that are burning in your country? So because of time, I would have really loved you to tell me what burning issues are you interested in that you think is a priority in your country. But you just have that at the top of your mind. If there is time, we will do a little exercise on that. Now, talk about your research question. Research question is very important. How do you craft your research question? Remember, these are the preliminaries. Now, the deadline is very critical. Will you be able to meet the deadline? Some grants have multiple deadline. They will say, okay, submit so and so thing by so and so date and all of that. Some grant funder or funders will request that you get so and so letters. And trust me, bureaucracies or administrative processes may stall your process. So it's important to start early. And now they also may request letter of support, especially when you have when they require that you have partners to support your project. Now on the next slide, the research proposal. Now the first thing on my slide is what motivates the study. That is the motivation for the study. What are your research questions? What does the project contribute to literature? Are there interventions? What approaches do you want to adopt? That is methodology. Do you have any partner? Are you required to have partners? Who are your partners? What are your dissemination plans? Yeah, today research have gone past just publishing in academic journals. There are also different routes to disseminating your findings. Talk about policy brief, talk about blog posts. Social media is underrated most times in the academia, but it's very important. And these days, there is this dissemination route using videos, conveying your findings through videos. I've not really seen that so much in Nigeria, but these are what many developed countries are using now. They can even write you to say, oh, we saw your research is very, very interesting. Are you interested in letting us convert it to video so that people can have more time to assimilate what these findings are? Although it comes with costs sometimes, but definitely these are the general template. So the next slide, we talk about motivations for your study. You have to begin your proposal. Remember, it's very important, and I can never overemphasize that. Whenever you are writing, please don't be so much in a haste to type. Remember that you must think. Now, you must begin your proposal with a clear problem statement that motivates your research. You must think, what is the problem? Now, you must write your problem in such a way that whoever reads this thing must say, yes, this is an issue. And to a very large extent, your proposal, depending on your topic, should be able to evoke emotion. Yeah, because I mean, it's human beings that are reading these things. If you have a way you can infuse emotive appendages to your writing, please do that. Because when people feel, let people feel with their head. Yes, I would like to use that word like that. Beyond thinking, let them feel your writing, let them feel your proposal in their head and in their heart to know, yes, that, oh my God, this must be funded. And here I have some checklists, but I'm not going to read that out. So you must ask yourself, what is the motivation for this study? And every research motivation is backed by a problem statement. And on the next slide, research questions, of course, you must state your question directly and show how it fits into literature and the field. And one of the ways to do that is to read. If you want to be a great researcher, if you want to win proposals and grants, you must read. In fact, there is no alternative to that. You must read. You must know what other people have done. Is someone talking?
Please go ahead.
All right, thank you. Um, you must know what other people have done. You must read so that you'll be able to situate your research question very well. And on the next slide, what are you trying to contribute to literature? You must be able to contextualize your research question and demonstrate how you want to fill a gap. Remember that the end point of every research or every project is to fill a gap, is to be able to solve a problem. At this stage that you and I are right now, we've gone beyond basic research. Basic research are those things we did in our undergraduate days, and the essence is just to apprise us with these processes, with this technique, with this how to do. Now at this stage we should be able to now ask ourselves why, what, and how are we going to do these things. We must be able to solve a problem, and therefore your research must make contributions beyond literature. Your research should be able to contribute to the development of the society. And I said here that a good research idea or compelling project must have great literature review. It must address a significant problem. It must identify a niche and what is to be achieved. There must be a clear description. And I want to quickly mention this again, like when you are doing literature review, people think is easy. Literature review is tough when you know what you're doing. Because in reviewing literature, you are not just copying and pasting. A lot of people just copy and paste and say they have done literature review. No, that is just copy and paste. You are just replicating, not even replicating, you're just copying what other people have done. So when you want to do a literature review, you review the topic, you review the methodology they use, you review their finding, just like doing systematic, and that's why I like systematic review. Even the study location, you review that. Time. What time was that study conducted? A study that was conducted in 2000, the findings then might be the same now, even when you use the same methodology, because time has passed. So these are the things you need to draw out to establish gap and have a very sound literature review. So if you have been just copying and pasting and say you're doing literature review, you should be able to know that literature review is not copy and paste. You are actually critiquing, you are looking at what has been done, gaps, location, so many things that authors have used and which will make your study stand out. Now, in some studies on the next slide, there are some, depending on what you want to do. If you want to do an RCT, randomized control trials, you need to talk about your interventions. What interventions, what are your treatment groups, and all of that. So you need to, talk about all of these things. Of course, theory of change, it's also very important whenever you're writing a research proposal. Think about your theory of change. Theory of change is a whole big area, and perhaps, Prof, maybe in our next episode, we can just dedicate just a session to discussing about theory of change, what it is, and how to write it, because we really can't talk about that in detail here. So another important aspect of research proposal on the next slide is the approach and methodology. Methodology is central in any research. And unfortunately, some people do not really understand methodology. Methodology is deep. It is deep. It's just like when you're building a house. If you don't get the foundation right, no matter how beautiful your structure is, your interior is, one day it's going to collapse. So methodology is like the foundation of your research. Anything you don't get well in methodology, I mean, that research is flawed already. And this is more this I would like to call it a fractal, because the objective should inform methodology. You know, the way you design your methodology is contingent on what your research objectives are. So these are all interrelated. They are not independent of each other. So brevity is really um encouraged in when you're writing your methodology. And of course, there are two major methodology or philosophy in methodology. You have the qualitative and you have the quantitative. Depending on the school of thought you are adopting, there are different ways in doing that. Are you doing a survey? There are different ways. I think in one of the episodes we talked about survey extensively in the previous episode. So that's why I encourage you to please go to our YouTube channel. There are so many valuable resources you can find them. The quantitative research design, the qualitative research design. And so the next slide, I talked about hypothesis, how you're going to administer your data, what are your timeline, what is your sample size. Sample size is very important. How do you do your power calculation? So these are the things you need to bring out in your research proposal that will make the funder know that beyond doing your literature review, beyond drafting a compelling problem, they know that you understand how to go about all of these things. The methodology is like the how. Imagine planning to go to market, but you don't know the way to take to go to the market. So no matter the amount you have in your pocket, you won't be able to, get whatever you want to do. And remember, I talked about your implementing partner on the next slide and your research team. Some funder will want you to have partners, why some may not demand that. Some funders, for instance, JPAL sometimes require that you have partners. It could be government, it could be the government, it could be the NGOs, depending, because they want to know that at the end of the day, your project will be implemented, which is also great. So you need to find out who your partner is. Are they credible? Do they have history of fraud and all of that? So you must be choosy about your partner to also make sure that they do not jeopardize your chances of winning that grant, no matter how credible and impeccable your grant is. And the next slide talks about the research team. Who are those in your team? Are they interdisciplinary? Do they have what it needs to execute the research? Now, all of us know that in paper writing, there's something we call gift author or gift authorship, where you just scribble people's name, just, oh, he's my friend, let him have a paper, promotion is coming, and all of that. Please do not try that in research grant writing. You want to make sure that anybody you want to be a part of your team have the experience, have the skills, have the qualifications needed to execute that grant proposal. So do not do friendship or colleagueship or allyship in grant writing. Otherwise, you will jeopardize your chances of winning. So research team is very important. Timeline, you must set a realistic timeline. You must set a realistic timeline. Make sure that none of your team member will stall the process of submission. Sometimes you could delineate tasks and you find out that some people do not meet up, or what Prof will call lastminute.com. It's really not good. Make sure you submit well ahead of time. So I talked about dissemination plan. So there are different avenues you want to tell your funders that you want to disseminate, because they want to know that their money will will be felt across time and space. So you want to tell them that you would publish definitely in a reputable peer review academic journal. Beyond all of these things, beyond journal, there is the blog. You can do seminar presentation, you can organize a workshop, you can be on social media. Please don't underrate social media. Don't be afraid of saying, don't think that social media is just for people who are on serious or content creators. Yeah, you can also create content with your findings. You can create content with your research. So these are some of the channels or dissemination routes you can use to let people get your findings out there. Even newspaper publications, you can do that. And budgeting is very important. Of course, These are where these funders check to make sure that their money is well accounted for. So you want to make sure that every budget line is something that is tied to your objective. Please remember I said that every single aspect of the research should be connected to each other. Your budget line should speak to your objectives, should also speak to your method. Now, in your budget, if you are not doing survey, and on the budget line, the fund that have survey, and then you go and put some amount of money there, but you are not doing survey, your study is purely qualitative, nobody will look at that proposal. So please, it's very important, pay critical attention to budgeting. If you're not good at budgeting, give it to someone who is very good at budgeting to help you draft a preliminary, prepare preliminary draft, and then you also look at it, and then also get ready to justify your budget. Now,
If you
on the
can try
next
and
slide.
target 10 minutes, that would be great. So we can have time for Q&A. I know you have
All right,
a
okay,
lot to explode, but okay. Thank you so
so
much, ma.
all right,
Yeah.
thank you. All right. So on the practicality of writing, so what are these practicality? The first thing is just a repetition of what I've said. The first thing is understand the funder's priority. Familiarize yourself with their mission. I've said this before. Use relevant language, of course. Craft a clear and compelling narrative. These are what makes your grant writing highly practical. You must show that it is feasible and you have the expertise. You must have a well-justified budget. Accountability is very important. Build relationship with funders. Please don't just apply for anything and then you go and wait. Watch out for when they have events. Even sometimes you can even write them to seek for seek for follow-up or to seek for any feedback. If you think that is taking on your formatting style, address it in the course of the study, in the previous visualization, visibility, and the approach, the CFA in grant writing, what makes a research idea good. And then you must avoid not paying attention to what your funder is saying. You must not wait till the end to say what you want to say, like at the end of the introduction, to hit the nail on the head. Start hitting that nail on the head from the beginning. You must also say, you must not, you must say how, you know, your research is going to be useful, and so on and so forth. So, in conclusion, grants is possible. You write your grant, you will implement, you do your due diligence, and even when you things, if your research is not funded, that is not the end of the world. Pick it up, comment, and rework. Your transparency is very important. So I'm just going to stop here. And hello, can you hear me?
Yes, although the last 2-3 minutes some practical, maybe there's a code from South Africa. I don't know why, but yeah. But it's okay. I think we cannot take Q&A, so maybe where they need to clarify, we cannot clarify. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Let's put our hands together, either digitally, spiritually, physically, otherwise, both on YouTube and you can use your emoji, all of that. So let's quickly, team members, please look at the comments, both on YouTube and chat session, and then we'll take them questions. But if you have a burning question, you want to raise your hand, kindly raise your hand, and we will recognize you. You can be given, yes, emotional. Drop your question here. Thanks so much. Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks so much. Thank you, Muhindo, Esther. Thanks so much, okay. Yes. Somebody said, Mark, can we have this slide? It's like you already have this slide. It's already on YouTube live. So once you finish this corner, you can go over this slide again. It's on YouTube. So the slide was shown on YouTube. So as you're watching the YouTube, you're seeing the slide. So that's answer that question from that should be from okay, Uchechi. Yeah, so the YouTube links have been shared by our team members. Just DIaDeRC on YouTube. That's our channel. So subscribe to our channel, and once you go to the live, you'll see the live videos, and the slide was used for that. Okay, let's get other comments coming quickly. Team members, look at the comments, and then we can if you want to speak out on Zoom, raise your hand. Let's go check on YouTube the comments that are there. Let's get them coming here. Thanks so much, Didara. Thanks so much, Kelechi. Thank you so much, Adebayo. Yes. Okay, please read it out. Mr. Gozan.
The difference between a
Okay, let's take the other one again. We'll take check other comments, other question. Difference between concept note and a proposal. That is it. Okay. Yeah, Moses, you want to ask question? Good year. Okay, it's like your mic is not clear. If you can write on the comment, that would be great. I think Moses was trying to talk, but you can, Moses Godia, you can write it out on the comments. We will read it out. Okay. So let's take this first question. What is the difference in practicality between a concept note and a proposal? Over to you, ma'am.
All right. It just because of I didn't want my slide to look very long. Otherwise, I have that somewhere. So it's a very important question. Thank you very much. So the short explanation to that is concept note is very brief, but because it is considered brief and short doesn't mean it is of less important. Concept note is something that will make your founder say, aha, this is the kind of work we would like to fund. That situation where you go for window shopping, you don't have your money yet, you're just passing through a mall and you saw a very beautiful furniture or upholstery, and then you say, yes, I think I would like to have this in my house. And then you go back to plan, save money to buy it. So this is what concept note looks like. Concept note is very brief, like 3 to 4 pages at most, that you send to your funder or donor to tell them, okay, this is what I would like you to look at to fund. And then the research proposal is now more detailed. So research proposal can be as lengthy as 10, 15 pages. It is very detailed. And now that is where you put everything you put in your concept notes, you now extend it and make it much more detailed, specifying every single thing in details. So that is it in a nutshell. Thank you. If you need further explanation, just tell me any other aspects you need me to clarify on the difference.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. And then basically, concept notes, take it as the features of the proposal. In other words, the baby of the proposal is like an extended abstract of the proposal. So what the brief, if I look at it for few pages, some can just give a 2-page concept notes. So in 2 pages or in 2 pages, what are the things that you want to put in the proposal that could have been there? You just summarize them. And some can even give you the structure, what should be there, maybe the background, objectives, the brief methodology, the expected outcome. So it's that I hope that answers the question. There's one from Godia Moses. Thank you so much. He's saying, thank you for the wonderful presentation. How can we find grants or funding that align with research interests? Judith, you want to comment there?
All right. Yes, let me just say that briefly. So I can never overemphasize the need to look up the previous episodes we've done. I think in the last episode they shared it extensively, and I think I also shared some where you can find. There is, depending on your area, there's the Social Science Research Council, there's the JPAL. There are so many of them, so you can browse. You Sometimes I don't know if the person who asked that question is also on the WhatsApp group, because I know that on a daily basis, almost on a daily basis, we share calls, for funding. You check if it aligns with your interest. So there is a database that has been shared. So I don't know, Prof, if we can get that again and maybe pull it up and post on that group again. Thank you.
Okay, let me comment there. I will just mention two things there. I'll share my screen again. Can you see my screen? In this, can we see my screen, please?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not coming to teach, but just to give us a list of some of the grant funding agencies. For example, there's JPA, there's APN, African Peace Building Network, African Academy of Science, ADB also funds. There's the Arts and Humanities Research Council, there's Asia Pacific Biotechnic Network, there's Association of Institutional Research, there's ACU, African Commonwealth of Universities, there's CISA, there's so much CGID, there's Codestra. So really just won the Codestra MRO grants with our team. There's a DIaD. My DIaD funds so much from scholarship to grants, postdoctoral, PhD as well. There's IPA that the workshop we are doing now with IPA in November. I mean, after the training, they put up a call for some to submit a concept note or a lot of interest. There's IDRC from Canada. They have a lot of big research. There's IGC, International Growth Center. There's so there are so many of them. SROC, there's WASCA for travel grants, West African Research Association. There's so much of them. There's Future of Life Institute, Global Fund. There's and most of those European countries have their own funding, from Danish to Nuffic to Swedish institutes. That there's Mo Ibrahim, and much more so. Like you mentioned, is I would just strongly encourage us to join the ASMN Premium membership. That is where we share such a closed opportunities. So I will also refer those of what I joined newly mentioned earlier. So in our ASMN Premium membership, we almost on a daily basis we share Patreon and two platform. We share regular course, and what we also do, put people on cluster. People also work together to collaborate to work towards a given grant. So if you check it out on our website, when you go to the DIaDeRC website, you click join the network, to take to the page, and all that you need, the benefits, they're all there, and the video. So what is the join? We give this badge, and the onboarding will be done by the end of November. And out of that, so we share different course on this ASMN Premium group. So I will strongly encourage us again to check it out and join. Okay, I think that's enough for that. Let's check another question. We have some minutes remaining. So remember, let's check the comment section again, and also on YouTube if there are. Okay. Somebody said there in
I'm not sure we can hear him.
Okay. I think I can take that. So it's about dissemination plan. How do we handle it? You can come in and I can come in later. Do you get it? issue of
I didn't get the question.
dissemination.
Dissemination.
Dissemination, yes.
Dissemination plan.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
The participant is asking,
All right, okay.
how is the content created with your research?
Oh, wonderful. Excellent. I like that question. Yeah. So, from the onset, let me take a typical example. Now, when we went to Senegal for our methodology workshop, I mean, you can take you can record yourself at the airport, talk about what you're going to do, give people feelers. This is now content creation we are talking on, and maybe I may not be the perfect person to talk about it. You can talk about, say you are going to field work. You can create content on the field work you are doing. Talk about the people, their culture, your findings when you publish. Talk about just one or two point, the major finding, and then give people the link to that finding. It's also a way of disseminating. If you're on LinkedIn, you will see a lot. Like if you're on LinkedIn and then you read what other people post, you also learn how to do all of these things. So this is more about content creation and using the knowledge of content creation to disseminate, talk about your research. So Prof, you can also come in if you wish.
Yes, okay. Okay, can we hear me, please? Okay,
did you hear me?
Yes,
did you hear me?
Yes, we did.
Okay, thank you.
So the special plan, what again would do is that we also use when Judith and the team won such cholesterol award, maybe I should just share down I'll just go to our website. Let me just go to our website. Somebody just said as a question that said we should just show practical. So let me just go to that grant that was won by Judith, and with her permission, I think she should permit me. Judith, am I permitted?
Yes.
Okay. So if you go to our this is our website now. Somebody is showing, we just do example. So this is if you go to under research news, I'm going to share our screen. So these are some of the, for example, this is one of the projects we did with academia. So you click on this, we did a workshop on it, and since this is part of like the special plan, it's just a blog post. And after the workshop, we shared the link with them. They're very happy that we could be able to summarize the highlight from that blog post and the summary of the workshop that we did with them. And thanks to a team member that wrote the blog post. So if anyone in the mainly this is privileged mainly for this membership, but for the one that did it, one with I think it should be, I'll just share that. We share for the award when it was won, and then it should be under research news. I want to get my this. I can also just do a search. So you can just say MRI. It's so interactive. MRI. To take us, I'm not taking that because someone asked us to go to. Yeah. So this, see, cholesterol research. This is okay. There are two things. One, this one is when the award was won. Okay. And I said this is actually from cholesterol website. So this is the principal researcher. This Adeleke YMC, the co-researcher, Beloke Brendalin from Cameroon, another researcher, and the Lovett Omeka. So we just reported it. This is that project. Climate change induced flooding and food security of female headed farmers, smallholder farmers. So when it was the one we reported it, okay, just this will also give it the world know what is happening. It's part of this nation. But afterward, we were invited to Codestra for training in Senegal. So also reported it. So reported it. I don't know if you can see my screen. Also reported this. This is the training. This the Judith doing what she knows how to do. This or that. Yeah. The panelist is YMC. This is Lovett. This is Brenda Lynn. When they were presenting their proposal. So if you go there, you when you go to our website, you see the details. So this the session. This is the call them by the quartet. The other quartet female teams. And then this four of them as well. This is Judith. Okay. So Judith, maybe you want to give us, somebody's asking me a sample of this proposal I want this grant. What and what were there in terms of the content. What I want. If you know you cannot share it, but just run through what I want. This what I want is tens of thousands of dollars grant. What I want. Somebody's asking that, so I want to make it practical. If you don't mind, please.
Okay. So the MRI came out with a call. They have we talked about thematic priority. They have different thematic priorities, and they have things they wanted you to talk about. They wanted you to talk about gender. They wanted you to talk about I think in terms of location, rural areas or something like that. And there's also one other things they wanted you to talk about. So remember, I also talked again that thinking precedes writing. So we asked ourselves, how do we intersect these three things? One of their thematic focus is that they want women to submit that call. So we came together, four of us came together. We have someone who is outside Nigeria, Dr. Brenda Lynn. She became part of the team. And then another thing we did again was to ask ourselves, how do we intersect? Now, let me quickly mention this thing. Intersectionality is very important in your research. And what do I mean by that? If you are talking about gender, for instance, don't just talk about women generally. Try to talk about women in rural areas, women in low socioeconomic status, women with low access to microcredit, so to speak, and all of that. So that's called intersectionality. To break it down, because the fact that we are all women doesn't mean we are equal. There are women here who are richer than I am. There are women here who are more privileged. So it's about equity, not equality, right? So what we did was we also checked, we went to Codestra website to check what they do, what they talk about, what they think, how they think, what is their mission, what is their vision. So in the process of writing all of these things, we try to bring all of these things into play in our writing. Writing is technical, by the way. It's not just, it goes beyond what we learn in the classroom. The more you read what people have written, the more you also learn how to write. So we brought all these things together. We consulted Prof, and then he gave us his great ideas. So we wrote on not just climate change, but climate change and farmers, not just farmers, female farmers, not just female farmers now, female smallholder farmer. So you see now the intersectionality. You're not just talking about farmers, you're talking about women, because we talk about climate change. Women are disproportionately affected by climate change. And if, by the way, if you have interest in climate change research, you can also link up. There are different calls now on climate change research. So these were the things we put together. And the thing is that there is no perfect proposal. There's no perfect proposal at all. So these were the things we did together. We brought all these ideas together, and boom, we pushed it, and you know, I don't like using luck, but let me just say that we were
God help you.
lucky and
Okay. All right.
it's God. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. There's one question. Okay, all right, let me take this one. Somebody asked question, since I'm on the website now by I think Kelechi Anyanwo, how can I be mentored on research grants? Yes, this is part of it. But like I said earlier, their SPIN premium membership offer that opportunity. You just go to our website. What I am, you just click join the network. You click on it, you open a new tab. So you see there are benefits there. Okay, we say there. So and you write there. So these are benefits. This is so numerous. All of that, and there's even a video you can eligibility, even a video you can categories you belong, you can play. So this second they were free the first batch has ended. The second batch is ongoing. That will run till the end of November. So there's a video on it, so you can play it out and check it out. So please kindly check it out, and that will be great. So let's take more questions. Attach them again on YouTube or
Yeah, on YouTube.
Okay.
The question goes this way: what component makes up a concept note? What are the components that makes up a concept note? From Patricia Ajayi. Dr. Judith.
So briefly, sometimes your concept notes can come with what we call letter of intent. That doesn't necessarily mean you should start writing it as a letter, but let me not go into the technicalities of the terminologies. So in concept notes, you write your background. I think I shared that it projected. You write the title, the background, the method, the methodology rather. You also talk about your dissemination plan, the uniqueness of your study, or your innovation, your budgets, and your references. Then I also mentioned that sometimes funders can have their specific templates. So you also follow their templates. Remember, I told you that what I gave you there was just generic. Sometimes funders can have their own templates on specific things they want you to talk about in the concept note. For instance, funders can ask you to write about your partners in your concept note. Who are those you are going to be partnering with? They want you to describe your research team. They would want you to talk about, devote reasonable number of words on the uniqueness of the study and the innovation. In other words, what innovation are you talking about, and all of that. It varies, but what we have on the screen here is generally the template for a concept note.
Yes. Then I think we have another one here from Baridu Bright. I think Prof, we can answer this. Say, how can I find grant opportunities for legal professionals?
Okay, I want to answer that as well. But basically we have two legal persons in our as membership. We have Barrister Nkiruka and Barrister Uneku. So I think you can just, so they're already there, part of our DIaDeRC membership. So I will still encourage that you check it out. So we already have two baristas who are there, and they are pretty clear in our team. Most time they check our documents before they act like they also act like a legal advisor to DIaDeRC. So at legal team, there are a number of course we share on our, so we share plenty of course, not only from us and from other team members. So it's just like I normally suggest if it's 30 minutes you devote every day to just go to the premier group and scan through. There are some that are useful to you. So ones are useful to you, you can bring out the concept notes like we just discussed, and if this requires team members, you can ask anybody that's interested before team is formed, and then we start collaboration. So whether you are from legal profession, whether you're from humanities, science, social sciences, there are opportunities to collaborate. Research is research. Yeah, Marcos, your hand is raised. You are recognized. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, Prof. The presentation of Dr. Judith is very clear, although she was not given enough time to explain everything in details. Because at a point, the time you gave to her, she was just trying to meet up and try to let us know some of the things. So, but what I want to say is this. It's a kind of eye opener, and I want to suggest that in case we want to have this kind of training, especially online, it would be nice that, you know, the kind of explanation she made when a question was raised, and you have to show it on yes, and she has to also talk about the process. I think with that, it will be very, very clear. She won't be able to, she won't talk too much, but we know the step. This is the concept note, a sample of the concept note, a sample of the proposal, some key points. She may not show some confidential details. So with that, it will be very easy for us to be able to understand. And the questions will be minimal. But however, when she was explaining towards the end, maybe about 5 minutes towards the end, something was not very clear. But on my own part, I'm able to understand what she's trying to talk about. And I still believe that, you have mentioned that next year there's going to be a training. I want to say that for the physical training, if this one is part, it will be very, very okay. And with some of the things you are posting on the premium membership, I've been trying to look at it. Yeah. I know it's what is worthy of note. That is just my comments about this training. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks so much, sir. Thanks so much. It's well appreciated. You always an elder, and we appreciate your elderly wisdom. Thank you so much. Yes, that's why we allowed 30 minutes full time for Q&A. So when it for the Q&A, things I didn't even pay attention to, people draw you to. So can I go? That's why I'm going to your website to go to draw attention to it. So wow, thanks so much. That's why we'll give you enough room for questions so we can clarify. It's well noted. And like I also mentioned, after this premium membership onboarding, by God's will, we'll do a training like we did for batch 1. So when we maybe we'll do onboarding. After the onboarding, we'll now have a training somewhere. I will discuss with my team members. Maybe December will be the onboarding after the premium membership labs. This batch 2 labs. We cannot do training. We did some training which were for batch 1. We cannot do other one for batch 2. And we can cover other areas that we know are germane for our team members. Okay, is there any question again? We are approaching towards the end. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Atino Doris Ego, you asked the question, how much is a membership fee? I will just say join them, go to the DIaDeRC website, under the icon, join the network, can read up the process there. It's as simple as that. And during the course of the presentation, somebody asked Dr. Annie, can I have your LinkedIn handle? You don't need, just search for her. If you're active on LinkedIn, you just add the name Judith and you see her.
And you can also check out on our DIaDeRC, go to DIaDeRC.
And she's also on DIaDeRC website, so you can read up her profile.
Okay. Do you have another question? We almost, so this is Judith. We'll soon be adding the LinkedIn tag to all our, these are our team members, these are our advisory boards. So just when you go to About Us, you see admit team, meet team. So you see advisory board first, then the Nobel laureates that I just mentioned earlier. Then you meet our fellows, and then you figure their link, you get their profiles for that you want. Okay, another quick question. We have 1 minute plus to go. It's been a very nice interaction with all of us. Let's check whether YouTube or Zoom we have any question. Yeah, okay. All right, once again, I must thank you so much. if you go to our event page, so to give all events that are outlined. Okay, I want to give you. Okay, it's simple mentioned earlier. It's just a loaf of bread per month. So as simple as that. A loaf of bread per month. I think is if you just go to join the network like this, let me go back there. It's just there. I think it's just there. I think I answered that already. Okay, it's a loaf of bread per month, and it's just what is for. I have category A, B, C. They're all definitely. Let's take a look at that. And so next Sunday, on the event, our next episode will be. We open this episode 2. Episode 3 will be. You can't afford to miss it. Will be on the publication and how to get rewarded when you get published, and that will be coming from one of our team members as well, and someone has gone through our training. Nuggets on publishing in reputable outlets and getting rewarded. Okay, so that will be same time, 6 p.m. J+1, same link on Zoom, also same link on the YouTube. And by God's grace, we trust God that we shall be a great outing as well. And starts episode 3. After episode 3, we have episode 4, episode 5, the grand finale. Then, lastly, let's also remember to do assignments because exercises they are crucial. But tomorrow morning, by God's grace, we'll post the one for today as well. Then, so if there's no burning question or there's no quick question, I think we are good to. I want to be clear about budget lines and objectives. Wow, that is yeah, clearly simple. So I wanted to show you an example now. 1 million. So basically, if you are saying the budget sum is like $10,000, for example. So you break it down to the activities you are doing. I don't know what I can share with you recently. So maybe you want to get literature review, there will be some amount of money for literature, some amount of money for survey, and how many people are interviewing, how many questions are you using. They want to engage those that want to join to interpret data or analysis, and that they want to do now dissemination. Want to use have a website or have a blog post or have a channel. So what will be the cost? So you project it based on the lines, and in most cases, the funding agency have a template like IPA as a template like JPAL. But extra, they have a template on what and what. They tell you that this one should not be see this one. So you follow the template. So I think it's that simple. So you follow the template they give you. I would answer your question, Madam Kelechi Enyawu. Okay, thanks so much. All right, we have spent extra 2 minutes. So once again, it's nice having you on this call today. We look forward to seeing you again, same time, same channel next Sunday by God's grace on the 10th of November by 6 p.m. Nigeria time, and then also on YouTube. If you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please subscribe to it as well. And also our DIaDeRC other channels. We're active on LinkedIn, we're active on the X, formerly Twitter, we're active on the Instagram, we're active on the Facebook. Check us out. And also on our YouTube, like I mentioned, most of our previous videos on YouTube and other important. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. And
Hello, thank you, Prof.
Yeah, thank you so much. Who is talking? All right, I think we're good to go. If there's no other question, I will stop the recording now. And I will normally spend 1 or 2 minutes. If there's one question, then otherwise the meeting will be ended. Once again, thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you,
we are
everyone.
here because you are there. Merci beaucoup tout le monde. Email Ndalo. Asante sana. Madawase. Danke schön. Tack så mycket. Thanks so much, and